Please turn to page 152 of your learning workbook. Let's solve some problems that you might see in ALEX where you're asked to find the equation of a quadratic function when you are provided its graph. Find the equation of the quadratic function f whose graph is shown below. This is the picture that you'll be provided in ALEX. Notice that this is a parabola. It opens up, which means eventually we're going to discover that the sign of a will be a positive number. The vertex is at location -1, 2, and the other point that the parabola goes through is at the point -3, 6. Okay, let's go through the 4 steps for solving this problem. Step 1, put h, k, x, and y into the vertex form. Well, looking at this parabola, we can see that the vertex is here, so this must be h and k. We can see that this is the other point, so this must be x and y. So let's go ahead and put those into our vertex form. Okay, so we get y equals, so we're going to start with 6 equals a parenthesis x, which in this case is -3, subtract h, which in this case is -1, close parenthesis squared, plus k, which in this case is 2. All right, step 2, solve for a. Okay, so we'll follow order of operations and we'll simplify. We'll work inside parentheses first. -3 minus -1 is the same as -3 plus +1. -3 plus 1 is -2. -2 squared is 4. Notice that when we follow order of operations, we do exponents before multiplication. So this is a times 4. So we get 6 equals 4a plus 2. -2 minus 2. 4 equals 4a. So 4 equals 4a. Divide by 4 on both sides. And we get 1 equals a, or a equals 1, which is a positive number, just as we said it would be. So what we know at this point is that a equals 1, h equals -1, k equals 2. All right, so we've done step 1 and step 2. Step 3, put a, h, and k in the vertex form. Do not replace x and y with numbers. We need x's and y's to create our equation. So we get y equals a, which is 1, parenthesis, x, subtract h, which is -1, close parentheses squared, plus k, which is 2. And then once again, subtracting and negative is adding, so we get y equals, parenthesis, x plus 1, close parenthesis squared, plus 2. I don't have to write this 1 because anything times 1 is itself. So this gives me my final answer. Y equals the sum x plus 1 squared plus 2. Step 4 is to convert to standard form if required by the problem. This problem does not require us to do that, therefore we do not, and this is our final answer. Okay, let's do another problem of this type. Let's make a new graph here. Okay, so here is the graph that's been provided for us. We're going to go through the exact same 4 steps that we just did in the previous problem. Although technically we only did 3 of the 4 steps, but we're going to go through the same steps. Okay, step 1, put h, k, x, and y into the vertex form. So in this particular problem, the vertex is 1, -4. And the other point that we're told that it goes through is the point 4, -13. So let's label those. So the 1, -4, that's the h and k. The 4, -13, that's an x and y. So now let's go ahead and put those in our equation. So we get y equals, so we get -13 equals a, which we don't know yet, parenthesis, x, which is 4, minus h, which is 1, close parenthesis squared, plus k, which is -4. Okay? Step 2, solve for a. Let's follow order of operations and work inside our grouping symbol first. So we get -13 equals a times 4 minus 1 is 3. Adding a negative is subtraction. Next, order of operations says that I should work on exponents. Well, 3 squared is 9, so this would be a times 9. In algebra, a times 9 is written 9a. Add 4 to both sides. -9 equals 9a. All right, so repeating that, -9 equals 9a. Divide by 9 on both sides. I get -1 equals a, or a equals -1. All right, so this opens down, a is negative, that makes sense. That gives me confidence that my answer is probably correct. We remember that for this problem, h was equal to 1, and k was equal to -4. All right, so now we're ready for step 3. Put a, h, and k into the vertex form. Do not put x or y with numbers. Leave the x's and y's as x's and y's. So we get y equals a, which is -1, parenthesis, x subtract h, which is 1, close parentheses squared, plus k, which is -4. All right, simplify. A -1 can be written just as a hyphen, and adding a negative is subtraction. So we get our final answer, y equals negative, parenthesis, x minus 1, close parenthesis squared, -4.